It's a magical Monday evening here in the city of Lagos. Hello and welcome to Game On, the show that brings you all the exciting sporting action from across the world, wherever it is taking place. If it's Madagascar, if it's Ghana, if it's here in Nigeria, if it's the United States of America, even if it's as far away as Greenland, you can be sure that we will be covering all that good sporting action right here on Game On. Welcome to the show. My name is Babatunde Koiki. And of course, you know that this show reaches you live from the studios of News Central Television. That's channel 422 on DSTV and channel 274 on Star Times. Welcome once again to the show. I'll be doing the first half of the show alone because everyone seems to have abandoned me. But don't you worry, you can also join in with me and make this so much fun because we are streaming on all our social media platforms. We're streaming live on YouTube. We're also available on the social media handles that you know quite well: Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok. We're here everywhere you go. Thank you once again for joining us. So, without further ado, let's start with some good news coming out of the Africa Games, where Nigeria is doing pretty well. It's another day of the competition, and the gold medals are raining in for Nigeria. And those gold medals have come from wrestling and, of course, from weightlifting, where Nigeria is doing pretty well. Blessing Oborodudu, Ogunsoya Christiana, Oduanyo Adekuroye, Mercy Genesis, Hannah Ruben, and Esther Kolawole all won gold medals in the women's wrestling event, doing pretty well for Nigeria. It was incredible. It was remarkable. And of course, it's showing just how powerful, how dominant the Nigerian women are on the continent. And of course, you know, all of them did pretty well, winning gold medals in each of their events, doing the nation proud as well. Let's take a quick listen to Blessing Oborodudu and Oduanyo Adekuroye.
I'm so excited that to my fans. I want to say thank you for being there for me, for praying for me, for always being there, supporting me. Thank you so much. I love you all. Fine.
I'm very happy, and firstly, I'm grateful to God for this opportunity He has given to me. And we prepared well, and I'm so very happy to retain the title once more again.
I feel so happy, and I can say it's God. It's not been easy for me to win straight. It's not easy, and I think it's coming from consistency, perseverance, and dedication.
I feel really fulfilled because my 2015 All African Games it was in silver, so I really asked God for this one, but I need a gold. So it was to be a silver, and the second is a gold. So I'm happy, and I'm so happy that I have this feat.
Coming here, I know I'm going to win the gold. I'm emotional because of my mom. And I was watching on the internet, I saw a lot of people posting their mom, wishing them Happy Mother's Day. That brought tears to my eyes because she's late. So this medal is for her. Mom, I know you are smiling in heaven.
A very emotional Oduanyo Adekuroye, remembering her mom on Mother's Day after winning another gold medal for Nigeria at the ongoing 13th African Games. Congratulations to Team Nigeria's women's wrestling team, showing their dominance, their superiority on the African continent once again. And big congratulations must go to the president of the Nigerian Wrestling Federation, Daniel Igali, who has probably single-handedly, I think safe to say single-handedly, turned around the fortunes of wrestling in Nigeria. It's just a shame that we can't find men who are of equal stature as women on the African continent. But I know with Daniel Igali in charge, that will improve as well. But it wasn't only wrestling that was bringing Nigeria medals, it was weightlifting as well. The duo of King Kalu and Favour Agboro won 5 medals, including 2 silver and 3 bronze medals, competing in the 55-kilogram men's category. King Kalu hoisted 87 kilograms in the snatch before recording 115 in the clean and jerk to make a total of 202 kilograms. On his part, Favour Agboro won 2 silver and a bronze medal in the 61-kilogram men's category. He lifted 113 kilograms in the snatch and 140 kilograms, I beg your pardon, in the clean and jerk, with a total of 253 kilograms to win the medals. And with that feat, Nigeria has now won 10 gold, 7 silver medals, and 13 bronze medals, and are currently 4th on the medals table behind leaders Egypt, Algeria, and South Africa. There you see it. on your screen. It is Nigeria in 4th place. Egypt going far ahead with 40 gold, 18 silver, 16 bronze medals. Algeria 2nd with 15 gold, 17 silver, 19 bronze medals. South Africa in 3rd place with 12 gold, 12 silver, and 21 bronze medals. You get the impression that that will change pretty quickly when the swimming event starts, where South Africa is has been dominant on the continent for decades. Nigeria in 4th place, not doing too badly, with 10 gold, 7 silver, and 13 bronze medals. But you get the impression that will also change as well. Nigeria has won gold medals in badminton, in wrestling, and in weightlifting. Host Ghana are way down behind Nigeria. I think that's in 10th place or 11th place with just 1 gold medal, 3 silver, and no bronze medals. So that's doing pretty well. Yeah, so that's the top 11 teams at the ongoing 13th Africa Games in Ghana right now. Let's leave that behind and move over to South Africa, Pretoria to be exact, where the ongoing Kalahari Conference of the Basketball Africa League is currently. Good friend, basketball journalist extraordinaire, media officer of the Kingsmen, Rivers Hoopers of Nigeria, Queen, Her Majesty the Queen, Queen Moseph. Thank you again for joining us. I'm sure you're enjoying the sights and sounds of Pretoria.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Good evening.
I didn't expect you to say anything less. South Africans are pretty hospitable. So let's tell us, how is the Kalahari Conference going? This is the first time that we are hosting one leg, as it were, of the BAL in South Africa. How has the experience been so far for the visiting teams and for you especially?
It's been a great experience. My first time in South Africa. It's a great feeling to be here and also watch these 4 teams play, 4 of the best of the 12 teams competing in this league this year. And looking at the first 2 days, I just know that the next 2 or 3 months is going to be extraordinary. Fans turned up, especially on day 1, because Cape Town Tigers is the first time they are playing right in front of their home fans in the BAL. So it was a packed full Sunbet Arena right here. Babas coming into this league are a team with pedigree. They have few players who have played in the African Champions Cup, who used to be the Champions Cup before he moved over to the BAL, and also the coach of the side, Saeed, who has also won the title for them in 2017 with AS Saleh. So, but beating Petro de Luanda was a huge statement, and it's a team to look forward to and also to take note of. Also for Dynamo, coming from Burundi, who would have thought that a Burundi team would beat the host team, Cape Town Tigers? They gave them no chance at all. They blew them all the way from the beginning till the end of the game, even though they tried to come back into it in the second half, but it was just too late. They left too late. So day 1, day 2 has been very good, has been wonderful on the part of the fans, because fans turned up. It was a mixture of entertainment and also watching a huge basketball tournament right here in South Africa. Also on the part of journalists as well. For me coming here to South Africa to watch this 4 teams play, I think it has been great.
Oh yeah, that's really good to hear. But you talked about the fact that Cape Town Tigers are playing in Pretoria, not necessarily playing at home in Cape Town, but they're getting the support. But it's 2 games in, 2 losses. It's always been a big question on my mind, Queen. Why is it that for all their sporting prowess, for all their dominance or ability in other sports, South Africa, it hasn't really gotten into basketball? And it's something I find pretty curious. And I'm hoping that you could probably shed some light on that.
Basketball is not a top 3 sport for them. Before you call basketball, you will call rugby, you call cricket, then maybe football. Then before you start thinking of basketball in the mix. So their league is not really strong, and I heard that their league has not even started. So basketball is not that proximity and logistics. When you get to Johannesburg from the airport, it's just like 45 minutes or 40 minutes from Joburg to Pretoria to get to the arena there. So which is very easy. But to Cape Town is as like a 2-hour drive or another airplane to get to Cape Town. So I think they looked at logistics of people coming outside of South Africa and all of that. So they put all that into consideration. And look at the arena is wonderful. Very, very wonderful. So I think for Cape Town or for South Africa, not considering basketball, it is just not part of their priority. Just like in Nigeria now, we'll play football first, then before we not think of basketball. before you even start thinking of cricket or rugby. So each country has its own priorities and the sports they prioritize, and that's why it's affecting South Africa. And the first two defeats they've had, I think it boils down to preparation. Like I've spoken to some South African fans and journalists, they say they didn't prepare well. I think that's the issue, similar issue with Nigeria in previous seasons where we don't have a league going into the BAL, and then we just have to go into struggle. So preparation has been poor coming into the BAL. The first game was used like a practice session. The second game was much better, even though they didn't get to win the game. It was much better. But preparation was quite poor. Recruitment, they had so many issues here and there. Then another thing is that when they get to play, their opening quarter is very poor. They always have a poor start. The first two games that I've seen, they really don't start well. Like yesterday when they got to play, they went down in the first quarter 31-18 or 14. Then the second game or the first game on Saturday, it was a huge lead that Dynamo held them on the first half going into the second half. So they pick up into the second half, so which is quite poor. And when we spoke to the coach yesterday at the post game, he was saying these are issues he needs to work on and areas he needs to work on, because if you face a team like US Rabat of Morocco, they will beat you and they will hunt you down if you don't pick up yourself from the beginning of the game. So I think these are the issues that Cape Town Tigers will need to fix, and coupled with the fact that it's not really a basketball nation.
Okay, I get that impression that, you know, they will grow into the tournament as it progresses, and maybe not this season, but maybe consequent seasons. But let's talk about a team that you mentioned earlier on, Dynamo Club of Burundi. They won their first game, but they were also in the news for interesting reasons. Now, we heard that they forfeited their game against FUS Rabat for refusing to wear the Visit Rwanda logo that was that every team in this particular conference was supposed to wear on their uniforms. Can you tell us a bit more about what happened? Was it a political issue? Was it a mix-up? We'd really like to know.
It's political, and for those who are who follow political issues across Africa, you know that Burundi and Rwanda, they have some issues to sort out. And January this year, Burundi locked out their border against Rwanda over a long-term issue that both of them have had. So, but coming into the league, they are very much aware that Rwanda are one of the biggest sponsors of the BAL. And that's why you see Visit Rwanda on all of the jerseys of the BAL 12 teams. Apart from that, you also have Visit Rwanda player of the game. So, and also the playoffs is being played in Rwanda. So each of the 8 teams that would qualify will go to Rwanda to play in playoffs. So they are aware of this. And each of the 12 teams signed off contract and agreement with the BAL. And once you're signing contract agreements, you are agreeing to the rules and regulations of the BAL, which means that you are agreeing to wear every merchandise given to you from the BAL. You're not just going to wear jerseys you wear in your league or in your federation. There are jerseys that Nike and the rest of them have produced. So, and they've produced for all 12 teams. So you cannot now turn down these sponsors and say you cannot wear them. So from the first game, we heard that they were not going to play, that they should be allowed to wear their jerseys from Burundi. And you know it's not going to be possible. Sponsors have paid heavily for all of this.
So what apparel did they wear in that game against Cape Town Tigers? Did it have Visit Rwanda on it?
Because they use a black tape to cover it. And those were the options in BAL. That either they wear jerseys from Burundi or they cover it with a black tape, or they end up not wearing it or forfeit the game. And that was a huge game. You're playing against the hosts, that's the home team, and that was the first game. So you don't want to blow all the plans and everything, the TV rights and all of them that they've put together for game 1 to happen. So I think they had to just strike a balance. It's okay, no problem. They just had to cover it. And for covering it, they faced a particular fine. They were fined for it, of which the BL didn't want to disclose how much, but you know that they were heavily fined for it. But going into the second game, they still wanted to use the black tape, which wouldn't happen, because Visit Rwanda also wouldn't be happy that after paying heavily or investing heavily into the BAL, you have one of the teams not showcasing their logo on the jerseys of the 12 teams. So which was quite wrong on their part, and they agreed that they were going to forfeit it. And that's how serious and that's how huge the problem is. Because for them to forfeit the game yesterday, it shows that the problem is not just sport, it is more politics. And according to what we've heard, according to reports, we heard that it is the Burundi basketball federation president, who is behind all of that.
Okay.
So I think he's in conjunction with the government, and which he spoke to the government that they should not allow the players play because they cannot afford to wear visits to Rwanda because they're having issues with the country Rwanda. So they are putting every one of us behind because journalists cannot cover a game. BAL who have spent a whole lot and put in place a whole lot for a game like this to happen. The players who want to play after winning your first game against the home team, they wanted to build a momentum going to the second game. And everyone, we're all looking forward to that game against FUS Rabat because they were the only two teams who had won their game. So it was going to an explosive second game. So, but we were not given the opportunity to watch these two teams.
Yeah,
so
they let everybody down. They let the whole of Africa down, if you ask me, Your Majesty.
Down completely. So that point was awarded to FUS Rabat on that particular. So we are all hoping today. We heard that it trained. Like I spoke to one of the players. One of the players is a Nigerian, Israel Otobo. He plays for the Nigerian team. He was at the World Cup qualifiers last year in Abidjan. When I spoke to him, he was completely down. And I could tell that the rest of the players are also feeling that way. He wants to play. And interestingly, he, alongside one of the players in FUS Rabat, Aliou Diarra, are the top two best young players in this league as we speak. So we missed that matchup between the two of them because Aliou Diarra won the Defensive Player of the Year when he played for the Malian team last year. And that Malian team finished third place. So, but he has now moved over to a Moroccan team. And in the first game, the two of them scored a double-double.
Wow.
So, and they're just 2 years of age. So we are looking forward to that matchup because two of them are like forward or center players. So we're looking forward to that matchup. But they didn't give us that opportunity.
It didn't happen, Your Majesty. Yeah, I can imagine your disappointment. Yeah. But let's look at the log now and see how the standings are after the first two games in the Kalahari Conference of BAL. And there you see it. It's FUS Rabat with 2 wins out of a possible 2, followed by Petro de Luanda, Dynamo Club of Burundi, and the Cape Town Tigers. Any surprises here for you, or do you think that it could still change with the final games still to come?
Well, I really don't think it will change because if Petro had not lost their first game to FUS Rabat, I would have said Petro will finish first. But prior to the first game, everyone had tipped Petro to finish top in this conference. Because you look at Petro from the first season, they finished in the semifinals. In the 2022 season, they finished as finalists. They lost to US Monarch State. Last year, it was a bigger disappointment because they even lost out in the semis after being tipped as favorite of the title. Because going all the way to the semifinals, they were unbeaten from the conference to the semifinals.
They're experienced campaigners on the continent, yes. Very experienced.
Yeah, very experienced. And then going into the season, one would have thought that they would have learned from last year and then pick up. But they were stunned by FUS Rabat. But many will just want to underrate FUS Rabat because, they are newcomers. But newcomers in this league, they always come prepared. Like Stade Malien, who finished third place last year, they were first-timers, and they went all the way to the semifinals, and they finished third place. And these are a group of young boys, athletic and all of that, and they won all the way to the third place game. They even defeated Petro in the third place game. So being a newcomer or a debutant is really not an excuse in the BL because you will prepare well. When you recruit well, you prepare well, you can't stand toe-to-toe with other teams from across Africa. So for Petro, I would have thought that they would have finished this conference first. But judging by what I've seen, and you look at the scoreline they played against Cape Town Tigers, 100 to 88. They can score as much as 100, but look at how much they were able to concede. 88. That means their defense is a huge problem. of which the coach admitted yesterday that they've not still gelled. Their chemistry is not yet there.
Okay.
Petro plays like a team. They play team game, but because some of their players were all over the place, national team commitment and all of that, their new players, their import players really joined when they got to Pretoria. So the preparation really was not top-notch like it used to be. So maybe if they pick up better, they might get to beat FUS Rabat in the same, because you remember that each of the team are playing each other twice. So, but I really FUS Rabat are a very, very compact team. They're like a complete team. They play you like fast breaks and all of that, and they play you way high up. So I want to think that FUS Rabat will still maintain that. Petro will finish second, except maybe they want to turn things around. But as it stands, we're just hoping that Dynamo will get to play tomorrow. They won't have to forfeit another, because if they forfeit another, according to FIBA Africa rules, they're out of the tournament completely. We are hoping they play. If they get to play, then maybe their deciding factor will be between them and Cape Town Tigers. But you see that top two spots, it will change.
I think it will definitely be between FUS Rabat and, of course, Petro di Luanda. Her Majesty the Queen, thank you so much for joining us all the way from Pretoria. It's always a pleasure listening to you, because you, believe it or not, are one of my favorite basketball journalists on the African continent. Thank you so much for your time, Your Majesty.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, Adebari joins me, and together we'll be looking at that interesting incident that Dynamo Basketball Club of Burundi put up. I do not understand how you can sign to play in a competition, abide by the rules, then on match day, because of political considerations, you decide that I'm not going to do this.
Honestly, to me, it seems like an intentional act, and it seems like it's actually like a political statement.
Oh, yeah.
So going into the tournament, you understand the rules and regulations, you signed to it and you agreed to it, and then you went through the whole process of getting your players there, training for it and whatnot, and then you get to the game and you do that on match day. Yeah. That is a clear political statement.
I think it was premeditated as
Definitely.
well. They knew they were going to do that.
It was. But I mean, going to this tournament of this magnitude, I mean, we know how important this tournament is to Africa as a whole, and then you go ahead and do that. I think that's taking it too far.
I totally agree with Okwe. It could and should have been better on the part of Dynamo Football Club of Burundi. You're still watching Game On. We'll take a short break. When we return, we'll be revisiting everything that happened in Riyadh with our man all the way from LA, Nnamdi Hollywood Moeta, is standing by. We'll be revisiting that, looking at the Nigerian Professional Football League as well. Still more to come right here on Game On. Thank you so much for staying tuned. You're still watching Game On here on News Central Television. We've been talking about the Basketball League Africa, and of course the ongoing 13 African Games in Accra, where Nigeria is not doing too badly. Well, I'll talk about not doing too badly. One man was in spectacular form on Friday. Anthony Joshua, two-time heavyweight champion of the world. He pretty much put out the lights for Cameroon's Francis Ngannou in explosive fashion, putting himself back in frame for the big time for either for a fight between the winner of Tyson Fury and, of course, the man who defeated him twice. Talk about Alexander Usyk. Joshua scored an explosive knockout, twice putting down his opponent in the second round. Well, that's the second one was conclusive and concussive. Joshua walked away with $50 million for his efforts, while Francis Ngannou earned more than he has ever earned in his entire life, whether be it in boxing or be it in MMA, with a $20 million payday. Now, make no mistake about it, this was guaranteed money. There was still money to come from pay-per-view and also money to come from gate takings. Well, one man who can break down everything that happened to us and tell us what the future holds for both Francis Ngannou and Anthony Joshua, and maybe even Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury, is the man, the myth, the legend himself, boxing aficionado extraordinaire. He's been a manager, he's been a promoter, he's been even a trainer at some point in time. I'm talking about Nnamdi Hollywood Moeta, joining us all the way from Los Angeles. Thank you so much for joining us.
I am very, very happy to be with you this afternoon.
I can tell.
I'm glad that we linked up.
Thank you very much. So Okpa is with me here in the studio. We'll be looking about that fight. So let's start very quickly. Did that fight end the way you expected it to end? Or did Joshua take his time? Or was Ngannou too good? But did it end the way you expected it to end?
When two punchers collide, what do you expect? You expect knockdowns and knockouts, you know. I felt that Ngannou will go there and try to press for the knockout, because if you hear his comments before the fight, where he was talking about, I will take Joshua's soul, I will knock him out, I understand he has a glass chin, all that nonsense. So he pressed for the knockout and he left himself open, and that was why Antonio was able to step right in and drop the bomb on him.
So is it that Francis Ngannou is not as punch resistant as everybody thought he was? Because, I mean, I think Joshua hit the Mexican heavyweight who defeated him a few years ago with the very same punch, but that one just swallowed it. But Ngannou took 3 of those and went down and never came back up.
But you see, he didn't see it coming. And he didn't feel it. That's what he said. He didn't see it coming and he didn't feel it. Those are the dangerous ones. Remember, it was really quick. The first knockdown was a flash knockdown, which means he didn't expect it. The second one was just like right there for the right hand. The third knockdown was totally unnecessary because I believe the referee should have stopped it after the second knockdown.
Really?
Because if you go back and if you go back and look at the eyes of Ngannou was just all glazed eyes because look, at the end of it, they had to bring in a gas mask to wake him up. He was out cold, man.
So, but I mean, this is a man who beat the count, stood up, told the referee that he was ready to go. But you're here saying that the referee should have stopped that fight at that particular point in time. I just want to be clear.
Yes, because the third knockdown was totally unnecessary. He was still on wobbly legs after the second knockdown. The third knockdown was a damage, really, because thank God he didn't end up in the hospital. He was able to come to the press conference. Listen, man, when the heavyweight lands clean, it's lights out, man. And in the fight game, we call this knockout electric knockout.
Oh, wow.
You know, 2 people that scored this kind of knockouts were like Thomas Hearns, the Hitman, Motor City Cobra, man. When they hit you, it's like electric shock, you know. Dude was out. The third knockdown was not necessary at all.
So is this the Joshua that we've always wanted to see? A Joshua who goes in there and just finishes your opponent, doesn't do the tippy-tappy stuff, tapping, jabbing for 12 rounds, just uses his power, ends the fight and goes home for a good night's sleep. Is this the Joshua that we'll be seeing from now on?
Yes, Otumba, this is the Joshua that is not scared. This is the Joshua that is all about seek and destroy. This is the Joshua that believes in his power. His mojo is back, you know. So from here on, you got to give kudos to the people in the corner. Ben Davison, who used to train Tyson Fury. The corner plays a big role in the fight game. People don't realize it, you know. If the corner is clueless, the fighter is on his own. Just like the Chinese giant and went out there and embarrassed everybody. The corner was clueless, you know.
All right, then, Mr. Namdi, what do you think? Do you think it's time for Joshua to actually go ahead and face either the winner between Tyson Fury or Usyk, or should he actually have one more fight before then? I mean, Dillian White is currently available for a fight.
Joseph Parker as well.
Joseph Parker as well. Should he go for one of them before then going for the major test and having that major bout between either himself and Fury or himself and Usyk?
Who is Julian White, for God's sake, man? he beat Joseph Parker before. Why do you want to see that fight? Check this, you know. If I were Eddie Hearn, this is what I'll do for Anthony Joshua because he didn't really break a sweat Saturday night. I will get him an easy fight at Wembley Stadium where he will knock some bomb out and then wait for the winner of Usyk and Tyson Fury. But remember one thing, guys said, rematch clause there, yes. Which means Saudi Arabia will have to give Usyk a lot of money to step aside. That is, if Usyk decides he wants to enforce the contract, but you know, it's Saudi Arabia, we're talking big money, so it's gonna be Tyson Fury against Anthony Joshua next. Not only that, you may end up seeing.
If I get you correctly, you're saying it's going to be Tyson Fury against Anthony Joshua next. That means you believe that Tyson Fury will defeat Alexander Usyk.
I keep telling you that he'll go to the body, cut the ring off, and break him down, knock him out. He may even knock him out of the ring. Remember what I'm telling you now?
This is the same Tyson Fury who was, you know, upstaged by Francis Ngannou. You think he will beat Alexander Usyk?
Don't believe what happened with that Ngannou fight. You remember he just went there to pick up the paycheck. He didn't prepare. He didn't prepare for that fight. He was just he was just a flabby fat guy that just was having fun. You know, the Tyson Fury this time will be ready because he knows Anthony Joshua is no joke right now.
Okay, finally to you, Nnamdi. So what happens to Francis Ngannou now? That's 2 fights in the heavyweight division against 2 absolute monsters. Some say he lost the first one, but he definitely lost the second one. Should he stay in boxing or should he just go back to MMA, JJ?
Come on, my brother. He only made $30 million in 2 fights. There's no money in MMA. With that 30 million, he can take some bomb to Cameroon and knock them out and then come back in boxing. I would stay in boxing. What is there in MMA? MMA is nothing, man. Look, the highest he made in MMA was 600K. You want to compare 600K to 10 million and $20 million?
Absolutely not.
That's a huge. What's in MMA, man? There's nothing. Look, I would take part of that 30 million, go back to Douala, put a couple of cards together, bring a couple of white guys in and knock them out. He's back then. Come on.
Anthony, Francis Ngannou, I think he should come and take lessons from you on how to expand his money because you've already set it up for him. But thank you so much.
$30 million. He can bring a couple of white guys from USA or England. They'll tear down the stadium. Everybody's going to have fun. And he's going to knock these white guys out. And we're going to say, oh, Francis Ngannou is back.
His manager should definitely come and see you. That's what I think. But thank you so much, Nnamdi.
I'm not joking now.
Thank you very much, Nnamdi Moweta. It's always a pleasure having you on the show. We'll be hoping to get you to join us again for more big fights. Thank you so much.
Look forward, my man. Peace to everybody in Africa and Nigeria.
Thank you very much. The man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Nnamdi Hollywood Moweta, a man who's been in the game for over 40 years. You better believe it. Let's move very quickly now to the NPFL, where matches were played this weekend. Some really, really great matches. And of course, we had that Southwest derby between Remo Stars, who are visiting here in Lagos, facing Sporting Lisbon. I beg your pardon, Sporting Lagos. Sorry about that. But actually, there was one match on Friday that went ahead before this, but yeah, there you go. Bendel Insurance beating Gombe United by 2-0. Really good result for Bendel Insurance, moving them up the log. On Saturday, there were other games as well. Katsina United and Heartland played a 1-1 draw. Now, we'll be talking about that game, Heartland, because the legendary Mike Idoko, we hear, has been appointed as general manager of Heartland. We'll be speaking to a league expert in just a few minutes. Sunshine Stars defeating Plateau United by 3-1. Rivers United versus Kano Pillars 1-1. A very controversial game because Rivers United's equalizer, we hear, ordinarily should not have stood. But we'll talk about that as the show progresses. Bayelsa United losing at home to Niger Tornadoes. These matches were played on Saturday. Then on Sunday, it was Eyimba edging out Doma United 1-0. Another very, very interesting, very, very chaotic game because I've never seen that kind of refereeing before. We'll be talking about that pretty soon. Shooting Stars hammering Aqua United by 3-0. Sporting Lagos smashing Remo Stars 4-1. This is their biggest ever scoreline in the NPFL. So congratulations to them, beating a major opponent and a major rival by 4-1. Enugu Rangers and Kwara United ended goalless, bringing an end to Rangers' 5-game winning streak, while Abia Warriors and Lobby Stars played out a 1-1 draw. Now let's quickly show you the top half of the table and show you the teams that are currently leading the log. Lobby Stars are back on top and are looking pretty good to win the league this year. There you go. Lobby Stars leading with 43 points, followed by Eyimba with 42 points. Plateau United in third place with 41 points. Enugu Rangers in fourth place with 41, followed by Remo Stars and Kano Pillars. Remo not doing themselves any good with that loss in Lagos to Sporting Lagos. Let's look at the bottom six. Heartland of Owerri still propping up the rest of the table, but we'll be seeing if the magic of Mike Idoko will help them to escape relegation waters. Gombe United, they are have 22 points. They also had 3 points and 3 goals deducted for an infraction earlier in the season. Aqua United in third from bottom with 24 points. Former league champions just a few years ago in danger of being relegated. Kwara United make up the bottom four. Just above them is Niger Tornadoes and Bayelsa United. Well, after that game in Lagos at the Mobology Johnson Arena, we caught up with not only Coach Paul of of Sporting Lagos, but also Coach Daniel Ogumodede of Remo Stars, and also one of the goal scorers in that game, Junior Lokosa, to give us their thoughts after what turned out to be a really, really good game.
For us, great victory for the players. the quality and the character they showed today, it's something we are very proud of. I am very proud as a coach to have them display like this in front of their fans and in front of everybody. Then also being a derby game against Remo Star, one of the best teams in the league, to win them, to score 4 goals against them is a massive result for us today, and I'm proud of my team.
There's nothing I have against Remo Star. It's my former team, and I respect them so much. I have friends like more than brothers, the coach, the staffs. So, you know, when you are playing against your former team and everybody wants to see the main reason why you are playing against them, because why is the reason why you left them, go to another team. So you have to give everything. So I'm happy we came out victorious. The point is very important for us. The score, I don't care about the score, but the point is very important for us.
We lost. That is what is running through my mind. We lost a very vital point. 3 points we aim to come to get, and we didn't get nothing. First, my apologies to our passionate fans. It's a woeful loss. It's unacceptable. So I take responsibility for the loss. But this is football. It happens, and maybe some other day, if we defend like that,
Well, there's a certain coach I know who really should be taking, lessons from these two coaches regarding how to conduct himself better in post-match interviews. Always seems a bit too hot under the collar, but I wouldn't mention his name. He knows himself quite well. Not because I'm afraid of him. No, don't get that. Don't get it twisted. But he really should be taking lessons. But joining us now, all the way from Port Harcourt, is another good friend, author of one of the seminal books on the MPFL, 1,000 Times on the Same Road, and a good friend of mine, China Acheru. Thank you so much for joining us all the way from Port Harcourt. You watch, well, China, let's start with what's been going on in the MPFL this season. 2 games this weekend particularly encapsulated that. The first one at, oh my God, in I'm sorry I'm laughing, but that game between Enyimba and, of course, visiting Doma United, I have never seen anything like this. So this was the goal that Enyimba purportedly scored in the 88th minute. It looked like a good goal, right? But the assistant referee ruled it off for, I don't know what, maybe it was offside or what, we don't know. But after concluding with the referee himself, both of them agreed that it wasn't a goal. Then the referee, after protestations from Enyimba, left the pitch, walked out of the stadium, went into the outside broadcasting van to review the tape of what happened, then came back into the field and actually whistled for a goal. I've never seen anything like that in my entire life. China, maybe you have some, I mean, with your experience, over 1,000 games watched in the MPFL, you might have seen something like this.
Dolphins won a game, or Dolphins scored in a game in Jos, and the referee disallowed the goal. And that game ended goalless against Plateau United. But the referee wrote in his report that Dolphins scored a good goal, and he disallowed it out of fear for his life. So he put the score of that game at 1-0. So we're on our way home back to Port Harcourt when we got the information that we actually won the match 1-0 and not goalless as it ended. Strange thing to happen in Nigerian football, right? The referee in Aba, I'm wondering why he's still a referee up till now. He should have retired himself. Because, one, there is no VAR in the Nigerian league. 2, how does the referee make a decision, restart a game, stop the game he restarted, run to the outside broadcast van to review the incident, and change his mind on that incident? Listen, Tunde, like I said, he shouldn't be a referee by this time. He shouldn't be a referee, but here we are. And we are discussing it because it's sickening to see that happening in Aba, watch the clips over and over again. I have to talk about it. You just wonder what on earth was going through his mind when he did what he did. I'm just as confounded as you. But another incident also happened in Port Harcourt, right beside you in your backyard, where Rivers United were trailing Kano Pillars in that game until, well, there you see, unfortunately, it happened just before this. If my producer can rewind that, there was a ball lofted into the box. The keeper made no contact with the ball. An opposing player clattered into the goalkeeper. In my opinion, it should have been a foul, but the referee whistled for a goal. I've never seen anything like that.
And maybe it's about time that we introduce VAR into the Nigerian Professional Football League, don't you think?
You want to talk about VAR? You're not able to achieve steady power in your stadium, power supply in your stadium. You want to talk about VAR?
It is a bit better than going out into the OB van to go and review match tapes, don't you think?
Now here's the thing, right? Rivers United players, coaches, and fans won't complain about that goal because it favored them, right? But every day of the week and twice on Sundays, that should not be a goal. That's an infringement against the Rivers United attacker. But here we are. Is the home team getting an equalizer? So the referee turns his face away. And that's the thing about the Nigerian league. 2 weeks prior, Rivers United returned from Ibadan with loads of complaints about how the game against Shooting Stars went. Here they are benefiting from something that shouldn't have happened. A week earlier, Aimba was in Aba complaining about how the ball boys, ensured that there are no balls to continue the game. And here they are benefiting from this. Now, it's a merry-go-round, it's a vicious circle. Now, one team is complaining away from home, and the next week benefiting at home. But who do we point at?
That was actually my next question to you, China. Who do we blame for this? Who do we hold responsible? Is it the MPFL body who should be coming down hard on these referees? Is it the referees body who should also be watching closely what the referees do? Or is it the clubs who a lot of people have also accused of, skullduggery in terms of inducing match referees? Nobody has been able to prove this, but it is an allegation that has existed since the beginning of time.
All three of them. They are really the corrupt referees, just like you have corrupt human beings in all walks of life. Now, corrupt referees should not be anywhere near football. They are the nice referees, the good ones, but they go into a venue that is hostile, and they have to do these things so they can go home and see their kids. Do you blame them? Then you blame the home club, you blame the home FA, you blame the league for not providing enough security. And then there are the club officials who will induce you with funds. So listen. I keep saying we don't have football clubs in Nigeria yet. We have entities who hustle for 3 points every Sunday. That's what we do here. So until we're ready to run football like a real football league and allow people to enjoy football, because what happens in our league every week, yes, we have good moments in the league. We have moments we are proud of in the league. And when those moments come, we celebrate those moments. But when these silly things happen, we also must talk about them because it's not good advert for our league. What happened in Aba can't be explained. What happened in Port Harcourt can't be explained. But two home teams benefited from that. And one of them got 3 points, the other got a point. Okay. It's terrible. It shouldn't be happening.
I totally agree with you. And I believe that Sangozi Acheru right behind you will be proud of a son who can speak truth to power despite no matter whose ox is gold. The legendary Chana Acheru, football journalist and broadcast extraordinaire, author of a seminal book on Nigerian football. Thank you so much for your time. Always a pleasure having you right here in our studio.
Pleasure is mine too.
Thank you. Well, let's move on very quickly. We're running out of time. Let's tell you that the Cameroon Football Federation are also in the news again. Believe it or not, they've suspended 62 players for fraud, including 17-year-old Wilfried Nathan Douala, who was the youngest member of Rigobert Song's Africa Cup of Nations squad. That's him there. That's the 17-year-old, 17-year-old Wilfried Nathan Douala, who was part of the Cameroon squad to the last Africa Cup of Nations. He's been suspended by the Cameroon FA FECAFOOT for fraud. Now, we'll be watching that that thing particularly closely. Also, let's tell you, matches are also played in the MPF, the English Premier League this weekend, and that's him. That's the 17-year-old dancing quite energetically, Toby. I don't know what to say, but that's a 17-year-old dance.
Yeah, exactly. I was taking a look at him during the tournament. He was, should I say, he was the enigma of the team. The cameras were always on him. But then when you take a look at him, it was questionable. So I'm not surprised that the news has come out.
I'm not surprised myself. But we've run out of time. It's been a very interesting, very entertaining show. But before we go, let's tell you that Lecce, Italian Serie A Lecce, have fired their manager, Roberto Di Aversa, after he headbutted an opposing player at the end of their loss to Verona over the weekend. Di Aversa headbutted Verona striker Thomas Henry in the aftermath of their 1-0 defeat on Sunday. We heard that the vessel was shown the red card along with Henry, and afterwards the manager who joined Lecce in 2023, June 2023, apologized, saying that his players have been continually provoked towards the end of the game. Okay, I don't know.
Madness. Absolutely madness. You know, this is what you expect from players, not from managers. Managers are meant to lead by example. But, I mean, I understand that he's human.
I don't understand that.
No, absolutely madness.
No,
it's not
has
allowed.
no place in football. But thank you so much for watching Game On this evening. It's been fun. It's been entertaining. We hope you join us again tomorrow. My name is Babatunde Koiki. Wishing you a wonderful night. Bye-bye.